there's such a great ecology here, and there's so much going on at so many different levels. And I think that's what makes it really interesting. People come here and they want to make something. And I think there is enough infrastructure here to allow that to happen. And the students, you come here, it's all new, and very easily you can find a place where you can thrive.
Creativity is a really powerful tool. It's not just about that sense of working within the subject, it's actually developing key skills and using your creativity to have high impact wherever you end up. So we rely on our students to know that this is a space they can just explore and expand. So School of Arts is an open.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah.
We haven't even put one in yet.
No?
Well, I'll just do it in November.
During November, are you going to do what we did, like a skit kind of thing?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You got it again.
1, 2, 3, 4.
One, two, three, four.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I don't like how separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to get the whole team. Oh. You got to put it really nice and high, maybe. Either be Insta or Facebook.
We'll just kind of talk to you.
Just, yeah, you guys just talk to me. Sorry, I should have said. Welcome to the UWE Bristol Moving In live stream. For many of you, the next few weeks is the start of a very exciting change, but of course, like many changes, you may have some questions before you get here. Lucky enough for you guys, I'm joined by two fantastic accommodation experts. Here we have Hannah and Callum.
Hi.
Hi.
And later we'll be joined by master student Amy, who will give you some insight on the student experience. Many of you have already sort of submitted some questions on our social channels. And if you haven't, please feel free to, on whatever platform you're watching this on, submit your questions and we'll do the best to answer them. So guys, can I just get started by asking a little bit about sort of the accommodation process? What can people expect when they arrive in the next few weeks?
So to start with, you need to get all your pre-arrival stuff completed. So you need to make sure that you've accepted your accommodation offer. You need to make sure that you have paid your £400 advance rent payment. That secures your accommodation. And then after that, we will send you your induction, which you need to complete. And then once you've done that, you can book your arrival slot. So your arrival slot happens for your main welcome weekend for your campus. So for Glenside, that's the 6th and 7th of September, and for Frenchay it's the following weekend. If it's the city centre that you live in, you should look out for some more information from your building provider, which is Unite Students. And then, yeah, it's time to start packing, I suppose, and and getting all excited.
Is there a way that anyone, if they had any questions sort of after this, could contact your team?
Yeah, of course. So please send us an email anytime. We are quite busy at the minute, but we'll respond as quickly as we can. That email address is very simple. It's just accommodation at uwe.ac.uk. And then the phone number is 0117 328 3601.
I'm very impressed that you didn't actually have to look down there for that. Yeah, I don't even know my own phone number. But before we get into the questions that you guys have submitted, we do have a couple of frequently asked questions, or FAQs, to get into. So Callum, I'll ask you this first one. When can I move in?
So hopefully you might know this already, if you've already accepted your offer, looked through your offer and had them pre-move and induction and maybe booked your arrival slot. If you haven't yet though, don't worry, and you're still in the process. We're happy to guide you, like we said before. Our main moving in date, like Hannah just said, was the 13th of September. However, we do realise that people might not be able to do just one specific day or weekend, just to try and fit in with people's schedules. So we do allow people to move in a couple of days, Thursday the 11th or Friday the 12th of September too. But once you get your arrival slot, you'll be able to book that there. That's kind of how we imagine the majority of students will move in. However, if you'd like to move in a little bit after too, then that's completely fine. You don't need to book that. Maybe just let us know and we'll make sure that won't be a problem.
I see.
But yeah, so what I would say is just double check your offer. Obviously with some courses, if they don't run through like the kind of general core times, if you need to move in a little bit early, just double check that move-in date too.
I see. It's nice to know there's some flexibility, but of course they need to contact.
Yeah.
Make you guys aware
And make
of
sure
these
you don't
things.
miss your first lecture.
Well, that's a big one.
And all the fun freshers events too. So.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots of them on campus and lots of fun things. And
Yeah.
moving in weekend itself is actually a very fun time.
I love it.
You know, I've worked at UWE 2 years now, and I can say that like the entire campus is buzzing during moving in week. So the second question I'll ask you this, Hannah. Where do I collect my keys?
So this is where you need to look at your emails. So we will email everything out to your whatever email you've put onto your application. So it's usually a personal one. So look out for that coming in there. If you live on Frenchay campus, you're going to be directed towards the west entrance. And that's different from where they would have come in on open day. So just look out for the yellow signs. So you come in via the west entrance, you'll be directed where to go and collect your keys. Try to stick to your move-in slot as much as possible, but obviously traffic.
Yeah.
Then you'll be directed on. So yeah, head into the west entrance, follow the people, collect your keys, go and settle in.
Fantastic. So what happens if I arrive late, Callum?
That's completely fine. We do understand that traffic could be bad. And we all know what the motorways are like, especially around Bristol for some reason, that M4, God.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so if you are going to be a little bit late, as long as you're not like sort of arriving really late on at night, even if you were to do it, we might be able to arrange something with security just to let you in for the night and be able to get your key the next day. But if you are going to be a little bit late, then don't panic too much. We do have some people in the office who will answer phone calls. So just call us like on the number I said before, just inform us that you might be a little bit late, and then we can just let people know. However, you'll probably find that on the day there are quite a lot of people all moving in at the same time too. And to have the slot, it's mostly just so that people can be able to arrive with the cars, because obviously you can imagine that's a bit of a logistical thing. So just try and keep us updated as much as possible if you're going to be a little bit late, and especially if you're going to go to a different day as well.
Fantastic. So next question, I'll direct it to you, Hannah. Who are my housemates? I'm assuming this is sort of like how will I, not specifically me.
So we get a lot of requests to know who housemates are before we move in, before they move in. We can't tell you because it's quite personal data, and I wouldn't want someone giving out my personal data, so we're not going to give out housemates. However, there are lots of social media groups that they can join. So they can join, I think there's a Facebook one, there's a couple of WhatsApp groups. So it's all linked there. And then you can put where you're going to be living. They are private groups, so you're nice and safe and secure to put where you're going to be living. Just be so careful that you're not like splashing it all over TikTok and stuff, because it is your address.
Yes. Yeah,
and you know, you shouldn't really be giving out your address to complete strangers on the internet, because anyone could turn up. So just bear that in mind about where you're putting it. But yeah, there's a Facebook group, there's some WhatsApp groups. I think there's some Snapchat groups as well that are going around. So yeah, you can put them in there. You might be able to find them, you might not. There's no guarantee. But hopefully there's someone, if not in your flat, you might find a neighbour or something like that.
I see, yeah. I mean, to be fair, not sharing your address online, that's just good life advice.
It's just good life
you know. Just to add to that as well, I'm actually from the social media team, and we've also got a way for you guys to connect with your future classmates rather than housemates. If you look on our Instagram, our YouTube shorts, and our TikTok page, we have pinned posts saying, oh, comment what your course is and try to find people on your course. So a little way to get to know people beforehand. And shamelessly plug in my own work. So I'm scared of moving in. What if it all goes wrong?
Oh, so, well, obviously university is quite a scary time for everyone. It's got, what, 12 years or so since gone to university. I know I look like I'm about 12, but it has been a little bit of time. Yeah, thank you, mate. But so obviously, like, for example, if you're like me, you might be moving to a completely other side of the country, not know anyone that's going there in the first place. That's completely normal. It is like a little bit of a step, but then it can also be like a bit of an opportunity as well. And what I would also say is that just give it a little bit of time. You might find that, you know, you're having like a little bit of a, maybe, you know, just a few days you've never really experienced in your life before, and it can take a bit of time to sort of like reflect and just sort of find yourself. What I would say the best thing to do is, we have got a lot of support here. So, for example, we'll speak to, I think, someone from Student Life in a little bit. And they have run a lot of events. They run a lot of initiatives. If you are struggling in accommodation specifically as well, like I said before, please get in touch with us too. We'll see what we can do to help as well.
That's fantastic.
We've got a great team of accommodation managers who sort of go around. They're going to introduce themselves. They're kind of the support network for all of our residents. Might tell you off if you haven't done the washing up and taken your bins out, but they are there to sort of help you and guide you along your time that you live with us. There's lots of times it's going to be a bit uncomfortable. I think it would be weird to not have some nerves going into it, but you just sort of have to jump straight in, introduce yourselves, knock on doors. It's going to be a bit awkward at first, but everyone's going to be feeling the same. So keep that in your mind as well. It's sort of, it's not just you that's going to be feeling this as well.
I think that's the thing, like, especially your first time leaving out of home, you know, it's important to know that you're going to be nervous, like you said, regardless. And everyone's just as nervous as you are. It's kind of like what they say about spiders, that, you know, they're more scared of you than you are of them. So just go say hi. But that's a really good point you mentioned. Later, Amy will be joining us. Like I said, she's a master's student, so she's got first-hand experience of living in accommodation. But also, like you said, she does work for the Student Life team, which is a great support network for you when you're joining UWE. So what's fun to do in the first few weeks? Who wants to take that question? Because that's a nice one to answer.
I think explore. I think the first thing is, like, especially, so if you're new to Bristol, new to the area, just get your bearings, go out and explore. If you're up on Frenchay campus, it's huge. Like, go and wander around, find the supermarket, find the nearest cafe, that kind of thing, and just have a great time. I mean, I think, like, knock on your neighbours' doors as well. You know, it's not just you within your flat. You might, hopefully you will get on with all your flatmates, but if you're not, it's sort of go and find your neighbours, go to some Student Life events, find a new hobby, take up your old hobby, go to the Centre for Sport, that kind of thing. There's so much to do. Glenside is beautiful. It's one of my favourite campuses. It's especially in autumn, I think it looks great. So you could sort of like wander down to Fish Ponds and have a little look around there, go for a walk around Snuff Mills. There's events going on there as well. It's just sort of get your bearings, find out what your new favourite things are. And
adjust. And as you mentioned earlier, there's freshers events, lots of stuff on every campus for students. And definitely, like Hannah said, explore, because I studied at UWE and I worked at UWE and I'm still discovering new things. There's literally constantly something new. So when is my first rent payment due? I keep saying my, as if these are my questions. It's just how they're worded, but but when is the first rent payment due?
So it's one of those things. So hopefully the majority of you might have already sorted it out already, but don't panic if you haven't. There's still a lot of time to do it. I do know, like Student Life have been in communications with people as well about getting in touch with our finance team to arrange that. Essentially, once you've secured your room, you paid your deposit. We do need you to get in touch with our finance team just to arrange your payment schedule. They can be quite flexible and fit it around when you get sort of financial help like your student loan, or you can sort of change the amount of installments as well. So actually it's mostly up to yourself.
I see.
As long as you're in touch with them and communicate that to them, and then like stick to it once you do arrange it, then that's fine. So I think most people's will be in maybe the first week of October.
Yeah.
I think they say the 1st of October, but it tends to be like that first week.
Yeah,
first
first week
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
And it will be a little bit less to
Oh.
keep in mind as well. So
Yeah.
that's when your advance rent payment is paid back to you.
Right.
So it's about £400 less than what you'd pay in your next few installments, however
I
many
see.
they are.
Oh, okay.
So it's good to know. You've got
That's
a little
really
bit
good
more
to know.
money for the
Yeah.
first couple of months.
And if you are worried about this as well, definitely get in touch with credit control. So if you Google UWE credit control, they've got like contact on there, and they'll be able to help you. And
we've got the student money service if it's like
Yeah.
other
Yes.
things to do with your loan or
Yeah.
any other support to do with finances.
Yeah, and
They're really great.
it was worth saying as well, another shameless plug of the social media in the new.
It's a theme here, isn't
Please view our channels. In the new year, we will be doing regular takeovers with the student money team. Kim, she answers questions on a monthly basis. Probably start that back in September. So if you've got any money questions, you can come to our channels as well, or like I said, contact them directly.
Yeah.
It seems like the general theme is that there is some flexibility, but you need to communicate.
Yes,
Definitely.
it needs to come from you, and I think that's like a really good lesson to just start university with. Is like it's now you,
Yeah.
and you need to take charge of your journey.
Yeah, that was definitely my biggest adjustment. Is that
Yeah.
there's no mum or dad, like this is
There's
me.
no one to hold my hand.
So Hannah, this question is: can I bring my car?
For moving, absolutely, yeah. Please don't arrive with a massive backpack on your back. That would take quite a lot of trips.
Yeah.
But for living on campus, unless you're on Glenside or the Hollies, which have a very small amount of student parking, which has to be pre-booked, we are a no-car campus. So you can't bring your car. Please don't come and bring your car and park it in your neighbour's drive off campus. We will tell you off. They will tell you off. So just leave it at home. French A campus is a really great bus network. It's like one of the hubs. So there's loads of buses that go towards the city centre, down towards Fishponds, Gloucester Road, up towards sort of into South Gloss. So you don't need your car.
Yeah,
basically.
it's very true. Yeah, the bus services around like UWE
and
campuses are very good.
There's loads of cycle paths nearby as well, so you can bring your bike, lock it up. All accommodations have bike sheds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, fantastic. So where do I park on the day?
So this kind of ties in with what we were saying before about having the instructions emailed to you. I think when you do book your arrival slot, there's kind of a few instructions on there, but like Hannah was saying, the majority of you that are living on campus will arrive through the west entrance on the day. We will actually, because we've done this quite a few years before, obviously, it is like a bit of a logistical operation. So we will have a lot of members of staff who should be in high-vis, like directing cars about where to go, because we have got a little system where you'll go and collect your key in one area, and then get back in the car, and then you'll be given basically a parking permit once you collect your key. And that gives you like a half an hour slot to park directly in front of where you'll be staying. And then you can unload all your car from there. If parents do need to stay like a little bit longer on the day with the car, then I think that you will also be directed to an auxiliary parking area too, which is just on site. So we've got it. We basically got it all planned out. but you'll be getting.
That reminds me, actually, that is like quite a common question as well. Like, can families stay with you at accommodation?
So they're allowed to visit, but they can't stay overnight. So once you have unloaded your car, moved your car over to the car park, gone back, unpacked, had a cup of tea, parents, family, supporters, whoever it is, they can stay for the day. That's absolutely fine. Help you settle in, go over to Sainsbury's to go get your first food shop, that kind of thing. other supermarkets are available, then they can come back. But until the 1st of October, we don't allow overnight stays.
Yes.
That is just so you can kind of find your feet.
Yeah.
It's not, keep not at a distance, but settle in first, and then people can come over and visit and stay.
Yeah.
There are lots of hotels that are nearby campuses as well, so if they wanted to sort of a big long drive or something like that, then there's loads of hotels nearby that they can book into. You can go and have lunch with them the next day before they go off.
I suppose that's probably particularly helpful to, like you said, students who either live far away in the UK or international students, my family like come from an airport. But that's fantastic. I'd like to just remind everyone that we do have some questions that have already come through here. But if you do have any questions that we haven't covered or may not be covering, then feel free to comment on whatever platform you're watching on. We also have got some photos here that I can show you of our brand new accommodation, Purdown View. This may not be relevant to all of you guys, but to anyone living in Purdown or who may still be looking at their accommodation options, these are some of the images and stuff we have. So you can see here. Fantastic. Purdown View is like one of a kind, actually, isn't it, Callum?
Yeah, so it's our newest accommodation, sorry. We had the first lot of students living in there last year, and I got really good feedback from it. It was actually my area, my portfolio that I run.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. Shameless plug.
Yeah, exactly. So I am very Purdown positive. but yeah, no, it's been really fun working on it. I mean, I've seen it grow up the last couple of years, and yeah, it's great. It's very state of the art. It's really well insulated. Yeah. There's a lot of designated student social spaces like student life hubs, free pool, free table football, little areas to like watch sporting events or films. It's really nice.
It is really lovely. My brother-in-law stayed there last year, and it's a fantastic accommodation. But speaking of student life, we have master student Amy joining us now.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being here.
I'm really happy to share my personal experience with the students. So let's start it.
Fantastic. Because also you work in the student life team. We've covered that a little bit.
Yes.
Do you want to maybe just describe to anyone a little bit about what student life is?
Yeah, so I've been working under student life for already a year already. Student life is basically like a hub for making new friends, making connections. So the new students will not be overwhelmed by the studies or maybe university. So like we would create events for the students to come and join in. Most of them are free to join events, so they can like have a chat about it. They can have like a culture community kind of event as well. So it's like really open to anyone and have an enjoyable experience with us.
It is a really lovely way to get to know Bristol and like Amy said, get to know like other people at UWE, meet people that you probably wouldn't have met otherwise. But obviously you're a more recent student than me and Callum. We'll obviously talk about moving in. Does it bring back any memories? Like how was moving in for you?
Yeah, for me, especially I came from Myanmar all the way. So it literally took like 13 hours flight. I was jet lagged and I have literally no relatives here. So I have to ask my like mom's mutual friend to come and pick me up. And then like he will drive me here from all the way to London to here. And then it was really difficult. Like, I have to unpack my stuff. I don't know how the weather is like. So I just have to like ask people around me like, hey, how's UK life is? And then I just read all the like videos and how people have experienced before me and then like gather information and just pack and try to adapt here.
For you, it's like a huge change and not just moving out first time, but also in a new country, a new place.
True.
But you seem to have adjusted very well to it.
Yeah, the UK is literally like the farthest country I've stayed here. Long time I've studied in Thailand before, and it's really okay for me because it's Asian country. But here it's like it's really, really new. I don't know. If you ask me, do you know anything about United Kingdom? I would be like, okay, I know about London, tea, biscuits, that's it. And then now it's like I'm new to Bristol and I have to like adapt and everything. Yeah.
I mean, like, do you have any advice for international students? Maybe what you would wanted to have known about the UK, about Bristol?
So I would say like, do not be too afraid or overwhelmed, especially for international students. They will be like, I somehow joined like Facebook community of international students and I frequently asked question would be like, oh, what should I pack? Or what kind of foods do I have to bring? Should I just pre-cooked it at home and pack it with my luggage? And I was like, guys, you don't need that much, like there are so many Asian stores here, like convenience stores, especially Chinese restaurant, which suits with our Asian palate. So just don't like overpack and don't worry too much. I guess you have to like in Burmese saying we would say open your eyes and ears. So just look around, explore, and just do not be afraid because we only live once, and why not just explore and
Definitely. I think that's nice even to any like UK students like moving to Bristol, or if you're already in Bristol, like eyes and ears open. I like that. So we've got a few questions that have come in from the different platforms. So this first one is probably for you, Callum. Can we have dehumidifiers?
What I would say to this is all that sort of information is in your pre-moving induction.
Oh, great.
There are certain appliances that you can and you can't bring. I'm not actually 100% sure about dehumidifiers, but I would just double check that with the pre-moving induction. I think with a lot of devices, as long as they're PAT tested, we don't necessarily mind them in certain areas, but just maybe not. For example, one thing we don't allow is like a rice cooker in your bedroom, just because that could cause a fire hazard.
Yeah.
I would say if you've got any sort of ambiguity or you're not 100% sure, if you did send us an email, we could probably ask a accommodation manager directly and they'll be able to tell us. I think dehumidifiers, though, as long as it's not some nuclear option where it's like where it's going to be dry like the desert in your room after 2 seconds, that it should be fine. I think as long as it's PAT tested and it's quite new and
I see. Yeah, but just be in contact just to be safe.
Yeah, just to be safe.
Fantastic. Amy, you might be able to answer this one. What's important to bring to accommodation? What am I likely to forget?
What am I likely to forget? Don't forget documentaries, of course. You have to bring all your medical insurance, passport, any supportive document that would help you with your future documentations as well, like family household documentaries and stuff. So just don't forget that. And can you repeat the first question for me?
What's important to bring?
What's important to bring?
Or like, what did you forget?
For me, I would pack my clothes equally, and also maybe don't forget about like cables and all the electronic stuff. Like, because sometimes people think like, oh, I should buy it from my home country because it might be expensive here.
Yeah.
So if you think like it's going to be like a little bit worry, just pack some of the stuff from your home country, like medicines, some of the major important stuff, and just pack. Just try not to like carry everything because you're the one who's gonna carry those 2 big luggages at the airport.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the sort of classic story, isn't it? It's like overpacking stuff you don't necessarily need and then getting there and going, oh, I forgot my toothbrush. Type of thing.
One thing I would say as well is what really helped me when I went to uni all those years ago. It sounds like a big deal, but it's not really. But it's just sort of like bring something that kind of maybe if you are a little bit homesick, like that reminds you of home.
Yeah.
So that's something that you can sort of look at and be like, oh, actually, you know what, I might be having a tough day or so, but I've got this. Like it'll be fine. And I find like a little reminder of home, or like even like a photo or something goes a long way.
Some home comforts. I think I definitely forgot home comforts in my first few weeks because of it. I was sort of like, oh, like I'm in this random room now with these random people. Can I book my accommodation now?
Yeah, so well, we do need you to apply now. So actually, one little important date to have if you've not yet applied for accommodation, we do still have a guarantee of an offer of accommodation if you do apply by 30th of August. So if you apply today or tomorrow, we will still be able to give you an offer of accommodation. We're getting to the point now where we've not got too many rooms left, so certain areas will be full, but we do have availability in other areas too. So if you are coming to us, you do need accommodation, please try and apply with us now. You will basically have been given a welcome email from admissions, which will have your student ID number and all the instructions on what to do there. So please follow through that instructions. Don't delay. Try and do it as quick as possible.
I see. Fantastic. So if that was you who left that question, today or tomorrow sounds like the best time to sort of hop on to that. If I have a parking permit for Glenside, can I park at any campus? It's probably best for you.
The travel team would definitely know this, but I would say no. We do have sort of like guest and visitor parking at Frenchay too, just for the general public on most days. So hopefully you'll be able to find a parking space. But yeah, that would just be for Glenside.
I see. I suppose both of you can answer this, but it might be better for Amy. What's the best way for me to break the ice with my flatmates?
For me, personally, I'm an extroverted person, so it's not really that difficult. Okay. But try just not to feel like sometimes we will overthink in our mind that they might see or think different to me. So for me, what I did was literally just knock on their door and, hey, I'm the new flatmate here. And then once everyone is arrived, I will have a gathering kind of event. So I will knock everyone out and we will have a general chat, hey, where are you from? My name's Amy. And then we will have general kind of conversation. Yeah, and then we get to know each other more. You just have to give it a shot, you know. You cannot just feel like, oh my God, you know what? I'll just stay in the door and waiting for someone to knock on the door and say hi. Yeah.
And then all of you are then waiting for someone to knock. And that seems like a slippery
You
slope.
might find that if someone is being a little bit quiet, they're just probably really nervous, and they might actually really appreciate like you bridging that gap. And as long as you're not like overimposing, they probably will appreciate that.
Yeah, like
they?
reaching out a little bit. That's very nice. What is the difference between standard and superior ensuite?
Right, so it just really depends on the location of the room. That would most likely refer to the size of the room.
I see. Right. Yeah. Okay. So there's something more specific for them to have a look into. Do we need to bring bed sheets?
Yes. So again, like this, all this information will be in the pre-move-in induction. But yeah, you will need to bring bed sheets. You'll have like obviously like the bed fundamentals, like the mattress, duvet, like pillows on it already, but you will need to bring your own bed sheets.
That's
Can
good.
I add that onto that?
Oh yeah.
So what I did was like, I think UWE has written on one of the blogs.
Sorry, just quickly. Yeah, I think you do need to bring your own pillow and your own duvet as well.
Yeah,
Just double check. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But for me, what I did was there's a website called Unit Kit Out or Unique Kit Out. So my mom and I would like order stuff beforehand. So when I arrived there, like the package would already be there. So that would include like bed sheets and everything. So sometimes you feel like your luggage is already filled, we can also buy like bed sheets from like IKEA or Sainsbury or stuff. At least for a night, you could have like comfort. So
That's really great.
And one good thing as well to know about this is that the university also has the sustainability hub. So you might even be able to find something for free or that's very cheap that you can just pick up just to see you over like a little bit of the moving in period and then be able to get something a bit more comfier after that if you want.
That's really good to say. Yeah, the sustainability hubs are at Bauer Ashton and at French A campus. And as Callum said, they essentially work on a token basis, don't they? You give in something, you get a token, and then you can use that token to get something else. There's also the Share Bristol on French A campus, which basically works like a swap shop. So you pay, I think, a yearly membership of like 16 quid. It's not very much. And then you can go in there and they might have like, I don't know, something you might have forgot, like a kettle or something for your kitchen. And you can basically borrow it for as long as you need it and then return something back. Can I bring houseplants? I don't know if either one of you, I suppose, can answer that.
I'm not a plant person, so normally I would say you can buy plants here if you really want to have your own indoor plant.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I just would like to just, make sure my plant survive outside and have like a proper sun instead of like keeping it.
In
So like,
accommodation.
I don't really see indoor plants in accommodation that much.
Things with low maintenance are quite good. So obviously like cactus, things like that. And we do actually have like a plant sale at the Students' Union at different times of the year. So you look out for that too. Yeah.
That's a great shout, actually. What is classed as extra furniture that you can't bring? It's probably best for Callum.
So the purpose of this really is just so that there's no major obstruction. So for example, if you're in your room and you filled it up with like an extra wardrobe or something, you'll probably find it's probably made your own living comfort a lot less better, even though you'll have more storage space. But it also probably could cause a bit of like danger, like health and safety, if there was a fire drill and you needed to leave your room quickly. So things like extra wardrobes, extra storage space, there will be a bit of storage space underneath your bed actually that you can get special crates for that will fit underneath them. So I would recommend that if that's what the person asking that question was thinking about. But just things like that, like you'll have your own like desk chair in your room with things like that, so you don't need to bring things like that. So,
exactly. I mean, if you're not overpacking, like Amy sort of mentioned, you should really be fine. Like hopefully you're not moving in your entire house into your accommodation. Amy, this one's probably best for you. Where's best to visit in Bristol first? Where would you, now that you've lived in Bristol for a while, where would you have gone first on your first few weeks?
First few weeks, for me, like I would try Settle first, and then the first would be like try to explore the markets. Like because in Bristol, I've kind of noticed that they have weekend markets. So St. Nicholas Market will be the best option. You could explore, and then just try to go to city center and have a look around. For me, what kind of brings me the memory back is that it took me a week to get onto the bus because I was so scared. Like I'm worried that the bus might take a different route. So like just use the Google map and just hop on it. And because we all like tap on top of, so just
That's a great
I
point.
would
Actually.
probably go St. Nicholas Market and look in the city center.
I think St. Nick's is good because you're in the city centre, you've got the experience of taking the bus, you get to see a brief amount of the shopping, but then St. Nick's is real kind of like community vibes,
Yes.
it's all local businesses, food vendors, it's some amazing food in St. Nick's.
Yeah, that Moroccan restaurant's great.
Oh, I've never actually tried
Have you not
it.
been that one?
No,
Yeah.
I've never tried that actually.
I sound like I work for them, but no, they are
You're
good.
trying to get some commission. Are there trolleys to help you move on the day?
So the short answer is no, but we will have a lot of staff members. So essentially our whole department will be working over that whole moving in weekend where we expect most people to come on the 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th.
Nice.
So there'll be a lot of bodies around. There'll be a lot of staff members. Even if it's not your usual job, like me, we will still all be mucking in at different areas too. So if you are a little bit worried about like maybe carting like little things around, what I would say is when you go to collect your key, just speak to whoever's given you your key out and just say, oh, look, you know, I could do with like a little bit of a hand here, like once I get there, if you, for example, just need to move something a bit heavy or whatever, and there's only like maybe yourself and like a parent, or your parent might not be able to, anything like that. Just speak to us about it on the day, and there'll be quite a lot of us around, and we'll be able to, we'll help you out if we can. We'll always try and make it a bit easier for you.
Fantastic. And I suppose that like goes into what you were saying about the whole moving in process. Like, you got a slot for a reason to make it sort of smooth and swift. Definitely. So like, you know, that will hopefully help that. Yeah. I have been accepted into my accommodation, but can I now change my choice?
So like I said before, this kind of just comes down to availability, really. Like if you, we can do like a sort of transfer request, but what I would say with that is it's not really 100% guaranteed. It kind of just depends on the reason and the availability. So if you are like wanting to maybe change for whatever reason, get in touch with us, like I said before. You can give us a call off the number I did say before, but it's probably easier to send us like a little bit of an email and just give us like the reasons for it, because then once we receive that email, we can do it basically then with the email. Whereas if we get a call, we might have to like put it off for a little bit and go back to it later.
Yeah.
But it just comes down to availability and just for the reason too.
Right, I see. That's great. That's great advice. Just to remind everyone, if you do have questions we haven't covered yet, please feel free to comment on whatever platform you're watching, and we'll make sure to get your questions answered. So can I have a coffee machine in my room? I'm assuming that'll probably be Callum as well.
This one is a no, I'm pretty sure. Like I'm actually, like I think I've heard of something to do with that. Like with a student like a little while ago. It would be like a bit of a discussion with us if we could maybe do it in like a more public area, like in a kitchen, for example.
I see, yeah.
But not in your bedroom.
Not in your bedroom, yeah, just for safety,
you
know. Amy, this one might be good for you. Best places to buy dishes and kitchen utensils.
Dishes. For me, I would just say like IKEA would be the best. If you are like aesthetic kind of person, you want to have pretty decorations, go to IKEA. And also, I think Primark will have like some sort of like pretty dishes, especially for girls. We would like to like have cute little dishes. So I think those two places will be the best. Also, like I think Sainsbury or Asda will have like some sort of plates.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Sainsbury's is ever so slightly more expensive, but Asda, Primark, IKEA, they're quite cheap and quite reliable, especially for students. I've got some stuff that still lasts me now from when I was a student from IKEA. And the good thing about the IKEA in Bristol is that there's like a taxi stand, isn't there? So you can actually get an Uber to IKEA, like order another one and load up whatever you need to get. But hopefully you won't be getting massive amounts of furniture.
Or an espresso machine.
Or an espresso machine. When is the latest time I can move in to September? I can move into September?
So yeah, I guess on this sort of more is like coming down to, you know, what you'll have like a cut-off date, I think, with your course to register. So if this has sort of been pre-arranged with your course that you could arrive maybe like a month or so later, I don't necessarily see the problem with that. It would just might be sort of thinking that if your, for example, contract would start on the 13th of September, but you don't move it until October, you're paying for a room that you're not living in.
I see.
So, I mean, you can move in basically after that contract start date whenever you want, but I would sort of think that, you know, what's the purpose of that question? Like, would you actually be able to be in at university to engage with your course if you're not there?
I think that kind of relates to something as well. It's good to know for international students that when you arrive into campus, a lot of the registration stuff for international students stays out into October, doesn't it? It doesn't have the same sort of signs pointing to it, but you will find someone who will let you know where it is. I know my partner actually joined university about 6 weeks late, and was able to go to the library, and they set her up with everything from there. This one's for you, Amy. Favorite thing to do at Freshers? Do you have a favorite store? I know the Domino's one's always popular.
Yeah, but for me, like I think I'm looking forward about the like events that UWE Bristol Fashion Week arranged. Like they will have like tickets, wristbands. I think I look forward to the most. Even this year, I got a free giveaway ticket. Yeah, I'm gonna go to there. So when you arrive here, just go to events, see how like Bristolians like and their culture difference, and the music, of course. And just get to know with them.
Yeah,
I
Bristol's got like a huge like arts and culture scene. Is fantastic, and you have the Freshers Fair on each campus, which is a bit of an introduction. You can learn about some societies, which I'd highly recommend. But then, like you said, you've also got the Freshers like events, which are run by the SU. I think last year they had Dick and Dom doing DJing, which I was very jealous that I couldn't go to that because that was some childhood memories.
Did they have a game of bogeys or?
I hope they did. You know. Is there a doctor on campus? I suppose either you can answer this.
I don't know this.
I've never been to a doctor, but
maybe I can answer this as well. Maybe it's what I can answer. There is one on French campus. I know that for certain. There's a doctor's surgery. Don't know if you guys know about one on Bower or Glenside. I don't believe so. No, but there is definitely one on French and I know that in part of your welcome pack it talks about registering with a GP.
Yeah,
it's better sooner rather than later. You know? What should I do about bins? Is there any recycling?
Yeah, so we basically give you all the facilities that you need to do recycling, general waste, and food waste. But yeah, so once you move in, accommodation managers will go and introduce themselves in the first week, say hi to everyone, and then basically just give you like the rundown like about maintenance and about looking after the room and what your side of the bargain is. So yeah, you will need to do bins yourself, but it will all be very well like signposted and obviously communicated to you for when you do arrive. I think there'll be some of this in the pre-move introduction as well on the link if you've got that too.
That's good. It made me laugh last year. My brother-in-law, like I said, to UWE, and on his first day, he said, "Oh, when does the cleaner arrive?" And I was like, "Oh, I've got some news for you, my friend."
Note on that. Speaking of bins, we have like 2 bins in our room, so like just small bins, and then also we also have kitchen bins. So, but I would like to highly suggest for if you are staying in accommodation, like have a chat with your flatmates to like sort it out properly, because I throw out trash frequently, I must say. So sometimes I see like the cans or some wet food they are not thrown away properly, so like it's just like a little bit smelly and just look a little bit not good enough. So yeah, just trying to have like strict recycling rules with your flatmates, so you don't feel like overwhelmed and burdened on yourself throughout the year.
Would you recommend in general trying to establish early on like a sort of like chores rota?
Yeah, I would say rota. I wish like first you have to communicate with your flatmate first, so that you will see like if their schedules align with it or not, and then have a rota and just have like a friendly conversation. If someone is not available to do the recycling, it's like, hey, should I take over it, or maybe have a proper rota. And,
I see. That's a great idea, and I think that stops any tensions that building up.
Yeah, from our side of things, like what in our experience, what works really well is just like you said, it's like is communication. It's that's just the main thing, and you'll find that you don't even have to just be best friends. Like you might just live together but have friends other places. But if everyone like sort of is talking, is open to each other, like tolerance, then you'll often find that stuff like that kind of just gets sorted out amongst yourself. And but then obviously like we're there to support too. So if you are worried about things, please have a word with us and we can help too.
I suppose that goes back to what you're saying, keep your eyes and ears open. If your flatmate's trying to like establish something, it's like, oh, it's probably because they're trying to keep the peace, amongst you guys. Where's the best pharmacy near Frenchay, and is it open on weekends?
I'm not sure. Do you know
Honestly,
that?
I'm not sure. But in terms of like general tablets like a Panadol or stuff, we can always buy in Morrison. And except the prescription medicine, like you can always buy medicine from like Asda or Sainsbury. So I don't see pharmacy, but boosters also have pharmacies like medicine.
Because there's, like you said, there's the Morrisons that sell some basic medicines, and you've got the SU shop that do the same. And I believe the closest pharmacy would be the Boots in the retail park. It's about a 10-minute walk down from Frenchay. It's nice because you actually get to walk across Frenchay campus. So if you haven't experienced that, you get more insight. That'll probably be your closest. But like I said, we do have a doctor surgery on French campus too. So it might be best to ask them. I'm not entirely sure myself. I've never used it, but they might actually have some form of pharmacy or prescription based system. Where can I park my car when I move in on French campus?
Yeah, so just like we said before, this will be communicated to you. If you're living in most places on campus, then you'll be instructed to come through the west entrance, and then we'll basically direct you where to go on the day.
Fantastic. And another one for you, Callum. What do I do if I lock myself out?
So you won't be the first one that's ever done this. So what I would say is just don't worry too much. In the daytime, Monday to Friday, sort of, kind of normal hours like 9 to 6, we'll be around in the office. So just come to accommodation services in 2N2. It'll be tough to remember that from when you actually arrive, but it's quite obvious when you do arrive where we are. Or you can always go to one. If you live in the student village, for example, or Purdown, there's a customer service. Like big boxes, things just outside all the accommodation. So just come find a member of staff and speak to us, and we'll be able to let you in. If it's out of hours, get in touch with security, I'd say, but that's quite obvious as well. And even in out of hours too, we'll have security walking around the campus. So they might even come across you and just say, "Oh, you okay? Like, you need a bit of help, like getting in."
You seem a bit panicked.
And we'll help you out with that.
Yeah. And it is very easy to contact the security team. Like the numbers are very easily listed. I think there's even in your probably accommodation pack and stuff. You can even Google just like whatever campus you're on, security team.
Security numbers on the back of your student card.
Yes, it is fantastic. Amy's checking hers now. Are there any freshers events specifically for international students? You might be able to answer this, Amy.
I don't really seem to notice that, but like I mentioned, the Bristol Fresher Week is literally open for anyone, so you can just join in. In terms of like international, maybe just join society. I think society will arrange like their own like cultural events, so you could join in and get a chat with your same nationality people. Yeah.
And that reminds me as well. There's also the Global Student on that French campus. Every Wednesday to the Global Student Cafe. It's a great place to meet all the international students, get some support and that sort of thing. I am a second-year student that will live on campus again. So what will be different when I am moving in, or will it be the same as the first year?
Yeah, so you'll go through the same process. So and you've obviously already been through it before, so maybe you're more familiar with it. So yeah, we'll still send you the same things: student moving induction, book arrival slot if it's necessary, and then we'll give you the instructions for the day from there.
And I'm assuming they wouldn't be staying in the same room. They'd probably
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I believe that's actually the end of all of our questions that we've received. But thank you both very much for joining us, Amy and Callum and Hannah for being there earlier, and all the tech team being behind the camera that's made all this come to life. We hope we've answered your questions today and you feel a bit more settled about moving in, as the general theme seems to be communicate. Things are flexible, but you need to communicate. And follow us on social media across all platforms, because we do share a lot of information that's helpful about moving in, about like your sort of study time, all the things that might be coming in your first few weeks. But yeah, now's the exciting time. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time.